Mystic Seekers have come to Derby Gaol, also known as Derby Jail. We're about to speak to Richard Felix about the things you've experienced here. So make sure to subscribe, like this video. Let's go meet Richard Felix. We're here with Richard Felix, Derby Gaol, Derby Jail, whichever one you want to call it. So let's listen from Richard about the experiences that himself and the staff have experienced here. And like I said before, we may get a couple more stories within this. So Richard, would you like to start?
Of course, I'll be quite honest with you, it would be quicker for me to tell you what hasn't happened.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
Because there's that much activity.
Honestly, I mean, this place is, I mean, to obviously start about the place, I mean, it's a jail, not a prison. So you were only kept here till the trial. And then if you were found guilty, then it would be punishment, but it wouldn't be prison. It would either be whipped at the cart's tail till your back be bloody, transportation, being branded on the palm of the hand with the letter T for thief.
I don't know about that one.
That's like going, just an early form of CRB check. Right? You're trying going into a jewellery shop with a big letter T on your hand. You know, you're a thief. So yeah. And the fourth one, of course, hanging. So from 1723, there were 222 hanging offences in this country. Stealing a sheep, stealing a cow, house breaking, shop breaking, burglary, rape, attempted rape, murder, attempted murder, setting fire to haystacks. They hanged 4 men in front of this building in 1817 for setting fire to a haystack here in Derbyshire. Poaching, burglary, just keep going till you reach 222 different hanging offences. 56 people hanged from this building.
Even for petty crimes.
Oh, petty? Yeah. Oh, appearing on the street with a sooty face.
Okay, that's a petty crime.
Yeah, well, what, not a chimney sweep. Basically, you blackened your face because you were out at night as a burglar, poacher, hanging offence. I mean, it is absolutely incredible the amount of what I would refer to as totally innocent people that were executed here. But not only that, but when it opened, 1756, and I mean, this is a prison cell down here. This should be bricked up.
Yeah.
But this place used to be a nightclub.
Oh, right.
Seedy nightclub, and basically the council allowed them to knock the walls out. But I've left this so I can get people in here for food and meals and things. But so when it opened in 1756, there was no segregation whatsoever. So old and young, male or female, tried or untried, sane or insane, put in the same cells. You'd be murdered for the coat off your back if you got a better or a warmer coat than somebody else in here. I cannot imagine what must have gone on in here. And just to add to it, they were allowed out of their cells in the daytime, and they had a bar, or a tap as it was called, wow. And they sold beer, wine and gin to the inmates. What went on in here, I just cannot imagine. Yeah, just think about it's a place of terror, pain, anguish, death, execution, suicide, murder.
So all you had cells where there was a murderer and someone for absolute petty theft in the same cell.
Yes. Yeah.
And that one must be scary for the person who did the petty theft.
Oh, exactly. So, or children. Yes. Young children as well. It doesn't bear thinking about. It really doesn't. This room we're in here, bigger room, this was known as the association room. And anybody that knows about prisons, even now, there is still an association room in prisons where you go and meet your family. Mm-hmm. And in those days, this is where your family came to say goodbye. You were actually brought out of your condemned cell in here, your family waiting in here, for the last So that's goodbye.
That's goodbye.
Mums, dads, brothers, sisters, children, wives, husbands. So if you're into EVP, of course, there's only there's two words in here. Goodbye and adieu.
Adieu.
Yeah, because I'm a great believer, you probably know that I'm a huge believer in the stone tape hypothesis.
Yeah.
Not theory, it ain't been proved.
Well,
It's a hypothesis, but I think the walls contain the emotion that must be, I'm not kidding, oozing out of these walls in here. I'm sure of it. So a place of terror, to be quite honest, and stuff that's gone on. I mean, you know, I've seen a ghost in here at 20 past 3 on a Friday afternoon, in the corridor down there, which I've had. Show you. Let's do. Oh, hang on. Let's start here, because one of the recent incidents. 2 Halloweens ago, we finished doing various events on Halloween. I said, right, I'm going to keep the bar open till past 11 on Halloween. Anybody wants to come back after the ghost walks and tours, the bar will be open. I'm going to do ghost stories for Halloween. So everybody's in here. It's about 20 past 11. I'm sat here with a glass of whiskey. A couple sat there. People here. Gina, who's hosting you tonight, she's sat here filming me, luckily. There's a CCTV camera up there, and I'm doing a story, and without noticing, you know, have a couple of drinks, put it back down, carry on talking, have another drink, put it down again, and all of a sudden, without us, nobody sees it, it starts to hurls itself on the floor. Oh, come on. So, I mean, I just, did you get it? I don't know. So we've got CCTV there. But of course, tell you where I come from, right? 2 things. Number 1, I'm interested in the history that created the ghost.
Same as me.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a ghost in there. Big deal. Why?
Yeah.
Who is it? Do we know? What happened to it that's caused it to stay here? Because it shouldn't. It should be... Don't ask me where. Somewhere else. Yeah. So there's a reason. In other words, why aren't all the inmates of Derby Jail still? Perhaps they are, for all I don't know. For all I know, but they're not, are they? There's certain spirits that we know are still here.
Yeah.
But there's others, hundreds and hundreds, that aren't here now. So why are those there? And that's what I try to get into. And secondly, I refer to myself a bit as a ghost detective. So I have to tick the normal boxes before I even remotely consider the fact that it might just be paranormal. And so tick them all off and then see what happens. And so as regards this, first thing, everybody knows that if you put your glass on a wet bar, because the beer's filled on it, it'll slide. Yeah. So the first thing I'm doing is, hang on guys, I said, look, it's not wet, look. So a lady gets up from over there, because she says, no, he's telling the truth. So it's not wet, hang on, so, right, what else can you do? There's no earthquakes at the moment. There's a road out there, there's a road out that way. Perhaps there's a very heavy lorry gone by. Yeah, vibrate, come on, it's 20 past 11 on Halloween night, but just in case, so they get me another glass, stick it there, vibrations.
Doesn't move like that.
Nope. Last thing, there's a couple sat there while it happened, and I said to the young lady that was there, I said, I know you didn't, but will you nudge the table, just in case? So she's going, oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Right, hang on. Nothing. So, and then the last really interesting bit is that it's all over YouTube. As the glass comes across the table, you can see it's moving. You can see the whiskey's moving, can't you?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I think I've seen that on YouTube.
It's as still can be. Cheers.
Oh.
So what? I've ticked every normal box I can think of.
Yeah.
Other than, it was Halloween, you know, it's a trick. It's not a trick. This is me. That's why I left most of them.
Yeah.
There's no point, there's no future
Yeah.
in doing that, because you'll be found out. Absolutely no truth.
Exactly.
So that's the only thing I can. I've got one explanation. You know what that is? Same as I did. Spirit activity, poltergeist, whatever you want to call them, and that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a belter.
We had a similar situation on that. Do you remember the ancient ramen?
Yeah, of course.
We were there once. We were on the second floor.
Yeah.
Outside the children's room, and obviously you had the bishop's room just there.
Yeah.
Bishop's room there. So, and Tyler can vouch because it was Tyler who actually saw this happen. So I'm stood here, and my wife there, and my mate's there, Tyler, and I'm sure it was Shelley stood there. And we were just talking among ourselves, and I hear a noise over there. So I turn, next thing, all I hear is a ding, 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 ding. Now, you know the cat balls? Tyler saw it levitate and drop. But I didn't get it on camera.
I know we never do.
I got a noise. Yeah, I got a noise. But because I put that video out there, I had people going, that wasn't real, it wasn't caught on camera, so you can't do this kind of like, yes, but if you believe in the paranormal, we do not lie, we give everything real.
Yeah.
You have to take our word for it, but
Yes.
that's what I heard. You heard the sound, but on the camera you can see everybody. Nobody moved. I mean, if you picked the cat ball, which you did down, dropped it, moved back, by the time you spun the camera, you'll see yourself moving
Of
back.
course you would.
Caught nothing.
No.
So yeah, I do understand. We tried everything and we were jumping and
everything, because you have to.
Yeah, why did that cat ball lift? There was no explanation for the cat ball. Lifting, dropping, going ding 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 on the floor.
None of that's incredible. But the fascinating thing about this is, Chris, to be honest with you, there is no proof. What happened there, to me, isn't proof there's ghosts. No. Can't prove it. What happened to you, what happens to... you can't prove it. It happened to you, it happened to me. Yes, I've got that on film, which does add to it a lot.
Yeah.
But it's still not, because there is no proof that ghosts exist. And yet the number of people that have experienced something, you, me, I've seen a ghost, I've heard a ghost, I've travelled with a ghost, and I know what happened, and I've tried to disprove what I've seen, heard and felt and sensed. But I know it happened.
Yeah.
So you see, I've stopped calling them stories. I call them accounts.
Accounts.
A story can be made up.
True.
Can be faked, can be made up.
Yeah.
An account is what you believe happened.
Yeah.
But you can't prove it.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
We're working on it. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because an awful lot of really genuine occurrences in this world have been sorted out by amateurs when they're doing things. Some of the discoveries have been made by amateurs. Who's to say one day we won't?
Yeah.
Might. At least we're trying.
Yeah.
But the only way to do that is to be honest and genuine about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise you can forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the difference. But so that's what happened in here. Out here, we'll go out and I'll all the doors, by the way, they're all real. They're all go back to 1756. And as you've just said, the word's heavy, which is absolutely right. And so,
Tyler, I was telling Richard about your experience in the ramen with a cat ball. You remember?
Yeah. When it went up and down.
There you go. I didn't even say nothing to you, Richard.
yeah,
She said when it went up and down.
yeah. There you are, you
And I
see.
literally saw it go up, like it was picked up, and then dropped.
Yeah. Right, this door here, it's heavy. It's not on yet, it's not on YouTube yet. So it's first thing, right, the door down the bottom is even heavier. It's metal. This one. Now this is where I saw my ghost. And we'll do the door first.
Yeah. So just look how heavy that door is.
And not only is it heavy, but it's also got a magnet up there to stop it opening, right?
Just open, yeah.
So basically what happens is, you see this door open first, hang on, I'm pushing it, right? It goes all the way like that, and then that one opens, after that one. This is only a few weeks ago. Now, again, I'm into, wind. Could be. Wind?
Got to be a strong gust of wind, but where from?
But that gust of wind has to go through there.
Yes.
To blow that heavy door open. And once that opens...
You just shit yourself.
Did you try to see it?
Just for everybody that knows, Johnny is actually just pooped himself because of this. I'll take shows, Johnny, because of that. Johnny was stood right up
Love
front of
it, love it.
That's great.
So, then this one opens.
That one.
That takes a lot of
It's
force.
wind. Wind. Oh yeah, wind. Yeah. Come on, guys. It's still, but it opens all the way. On camera. Look, up there. Perfect.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Perfect angle.
Yeah. This is another day again. This is all. We've got 2 boards that are up there to stop people if it's not able to get in the bar, climb into the bar, right? The big board, which is the whole size of that, throws itself backwards into there. And of course, that camera just catches it going. There's nobody in here. Oh, amazing. Right, I'm in here with Beardo Gets Scared and Ghosts on Drone. We do another time, we do an interview in there. I come out to take my, standing here, we've got 3 cameras filming me and, right? And I come out and I said, right, this is the main corridor of the jail. All the doors are about to, all original. And as I start to say that, that opens itself. And it's all on camera. With Beardo, who is one hell of a skeptic. And look, wow. And he can't believe it. Well, I can't believe it. Because again, how can, there's no window, there's no door, there's no way that the wind could blow it open, even if it was a windy night.
That's amazing. But I hope that happens tonight.
Well,
That's fingers crossed something like that happens.
it's been there for months and months and months.
And it just stops just there.
And it doesn't come out.
I mean, you've even still got the door open now.
Yeah, I know.
And to be fair, it is
It
windy
is a
out there.
reasonably windy night.
Because we've just been out there, obviously having a break, and it is windy tonight out there.
Yeah, I know.
So if it was, there's a gust coming from there, that would have opened.
Yeah, I know. But you see, if this was open, and the wind had come down that corridor, but no, hang on, that would blow it shut, not open.
Yeah. But it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. So that's that one out. Back to my corridor, this one here. 3:20, Friday afternoon, broad daylight. I come in here to raid the till from the ghost walk the night before. I'm stood in the kitchen, on the phone, through there. That's where this wasn't here, so it's open. I'm stood on the phone talking to a guy from Derby City Council.
Well, so this is where he was looking through this.
Yeah, that wasn't there. It's just a cut-out window. Again, put in by when it was a nightclub.
Yeah.
And that door's not there then. That's only been here for 3 years, because it must be 15 years ago size. And gliding down the corridor here is a figure. And I'm still on the phone talking, I'm not thinking about ghosts or anything else, I'm talking about the bloke from Derby City Council, right? And it glides past here as long as it takes for me not to see it anymore, because there's a corner here. About 5 seconds. It wasn't male, it wasn't female, it wasn't clothed. It was a grey hazy shape of it was person shaped, but it was a grey haze. It was, if I've said it 1,000 times, it was so distinctly grey. But it was a haze, but I couldn't see through it. I couldn't see the wall through it or anything else. It was a dense haze. But not only did I see it, I sensed it.
Sensed it.
Oh yeah, you say, come on, you're in the kitchen alone. There's carpet on the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps not usually, but let's pretend there is.
Yeah.
And you're at the kitchen, and your back's to the door, and someone walks in with the slippers on, so you don't hear anything. But you turn around, you sense that person's energy, that presence, and that's what I got when I saw it. And it came to here, and well, I mean, I said to him, I just seen a bloody ghost. He says, Jeff, hang on, what's the minute? Wait, hang on, I knew him, luckily. I said, right, so of course, we're not open, but here we go. Someone's come in. Look a bit strange, but they've come in, right? So I stick my head around here to see where they've gone. But they haven't. Nobody there. That's when the hair on the back of my neck stood up, because I thought, oh, I have just seen a ghost. And I went back to him, I said, Darren, I hope you don't mind. He says, what's that? I said, we might stay on the phone a bit longer. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, I'll tell you what, mate, when I put this phone down, I'm on my own with what's just coming here. That was over 15 years ago now. But this keeps getting... My son, Ed, was in here on a Friday, and he was on the phone. Well, guess what? Is it something to do with phones? Frequencies? I don't know. But his back was turned to that window there, and he heard footsteps coming down here. Turned to see who'd come in. Over there. He went and stood outside till another member of staff came. He don't believe in ghosts, by the way, but he knew someone was here. Young lad called Anthony. He used to open up on Saturday morning for me. We used to have a coffee machine there, and he was filling the coffee machine, and he says he saw something standing looking at him. Face on, but there was no face, and it was grey, like.
That's what you saw.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, there's something. Well, this is the corridor you went up to the gallows.
Is that the only experience you've ever had in this corridor? That was just that.
Me, only me.
Yeah.
No, I've had another one when we were doing night vigil, and we used to have we've still got a till on the counter, and all of a sudden, for no reason whatsoever, the till started churning receipts out from the top of it. Energy. Because I've always said, if ghosts are energy, we know that.
Yeah.
One of the easiest ways to do something is to affect another energy source.
Yeah.
A phone, a lift, a radio, cat ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
EMF meters.
Light bulbs, EMF meters.
Yeah.
It's easier than pushing you.
Yeah.
Or moving me, isn't it? It doesn't need as much. So I don't know whether something going on in there. I tell you. This corridor. This is the place.
I have to check this out as well.
Yes.
Definitely
And
check
then
it out.
the other one.
Right, you keep scaring me.
Again, sorry mate.
Sorry.
This is. Come on, Pete. How many weeks ago now?
4 weeks, 3 weeks ago. Here.
Yeah, here. Peter's going around. It's a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And he's going around. The lights are on. He's clicking all his. What's it here? He goes in here. Yeah. To put the light on. Oh, yeah. Did you go and put the light on?
I was checking that the light in there was on.
Yeah.
So I went in to shut it off.
Yeah. And he comes back out. I don't know why I'm telling you, Peter. He comes back out. And he's on the floor. And I mean, by God, it's not been on yet.
No.
I can show it you in a minute, but I haven't put it on YouTube or TikTok yet.
I don't know what happened. It's either I went over this cobble here.
It looks as if he's thrown. They're not. They're not.
Yeah, okay, there's a little one there, but you're not going to really go hard, are you?
The pressure was from behind.
Yeah.
So
It's incredible. But he's wham on the floor, aren't you? I'm surprised. Cut his leg badly.
yeah.
And that's a condemned cell, isn't
That's
it?
condemned cell. But he didn't faint.
You can show them the video. It doesn't matter.
He didn't. I know that. Didn't have a seizure. Do you know what I mean? But it's the force.
Oh, the force was definitely from behind.
The way he went down is almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? You go down. You go down. No.
Yeah. You can literally see the action of being.
Yes. It's quite amazing. Quite amazing.
The thing is, I didn't feel that, but I felt the pressure.
Yeah.
I went down. I had no idea. So if, I was either pushed or I went over that there.
But that's pretty flat, isn't it, Richard? You're
Look,
3
look,
foot over.
look.
when you see the footage, decide for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's be on my YouTube channel soon. I'm sorry, you can have it there as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make any claims about it
Oh, no.
because I just say this is what happened.
Yeah.
Look at it and decide for yourselves.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
whatever I say, no one's going to believe it. So
That's the same as what we do when we're doing a film for this. we do the investigation, we capture what we think we captured,
Up to
and
you
then other
guys.
people then can decide for
Up to
themselves.
you guys. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Give us your
Yeah.
thoughts.
Exactly.
Because that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yes, that's
Discussion.
it, yeah.
Yeah. So
We're never going to crunch down like, I could say this, somebody could say that, and we start nibbling away at it, maybe, oh, do you know what, actually, maybe it wasn't paranormal in the end.
Oh yeah.
Because you chip away at it.
Yes.
And that's why I like people
Tick the
look at
normal
it.
boxes
Yeah.
and keep ticking them.
Yeah.
But the thing is then, what you then do, when you've got a box without a tick, that's when you really start investigating.
Yeah.
And that's what doesn't happen on your ghost shows on telly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're too
be fair,
busy
Richard,
wanting you to believe it.
I think I've caught more on my YouTube channel
Yeah.
than Ghost Adventures than anybody else.
Yeah, I'm
Most
sure.
ones.
I agree.
I
with you.
caught a spirit, what was it called? It was an old monastery place. Oh, well, that's clear when she comes out. But I was walking, and everyone said it's torch on. Don't get me wrong, I did have a torch on, right?
Yeah.
I'm walking, and I've got a camera, because I used to do oil film myself then, and I've got the torch. The torch is still on the damn wall. It literally still on a wall, but you see this mist figure go, right, run away from us. And that's when you see my torch follow them.
Yes.
And I went, it's a torch, right, I'll slow it, and I slowed it down literally to nothing, and you can still see the torch light on the wall, and the spirit flies, then my torch follows her. I'm like, how many torch now?
Wow.
You know, so I caught a lot of things on camera. I was in a place called the Coffee Maker's House. Now I'm going upstairs, there's supposed little boy there. Put an EMF meter on the stairs, my mate's at the bottom, I'm up from it, and it just starts going off. So I think, questions. Start asking questions, and I've got a night vision camera at the time, and it's responding. And I said, were you severely hurt here? Now, don't forget, responding to every question I did. When I said that question, now, I'm a bit sceptic on balls of light myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I can explain this. Ball of light, moved away from the EMF, and it never went off again. I was like, don't need to say more. You know, just things like that. I'm like, I will say, yes, I've caught paranormal evidence. If people want to try and decipher it, go ahead.
Yeah.
But that's what I've caught.
Yes.
And just like things like that, that's the only time I will say, I severely do think I've caught something paranormal.
Yeah.
Especially when a ball of light moves away and that REM pod, never went off again. At all night.
I've gone away from it.
Yeah. So,
I know. And then into the murder room. I mean, you do realise there's a lot more going on than what I'm.
Oh, yes, I
This
can
is-
imagine,
yeah, I mean, there's always, I'll tell you, something going on, isn't there, Peter, in here.
just for the record, I went in here before with this gentleman, and I don't like this room. I'm just putting it out on the record. I don't like this room.
The murder
It is
room.
haunted.
There's something
Yeah.
heavy
Well,
in this room.
until about 3 years ago, this was Derby Police Museum in here, and there used to be a dummy policeman there, right? Modern, full kit, you know, cuffs, high-vis jacket, everything on it there. It had been there for 4 years, same position. It's about 1:30 in the morning. Oh, by the way, the reason I threw them out in the end was because they wouldn't let me have the key to this room only when they were here,
Oh,
the
okay.
curator. And then I'd get a phone call, say, well, I can't come tomorrow because I'm helping a mate move house. I said, well, we are going to do it now, people will turn up tomorrow. So in the end it gave up. But basically, so what I'm saying to you is that door was locked because they got the key. The CCTV cameras, luckily,
Yeah.
but it's about 1:30 in the morning. The dummy in the corner, standing there as it has for 4 years, goes 1, 2, and throws itself across the floor. Helmet bounces off. Oh, so, tick the normal boxes. 1:30 in the morning, so nobody in here. Who would be? Well, yes, we do know, but nobody here, right? Laurie's going up, no. The only thing I can imagine, possibly, so try this. If that's locked, you might just be able to get your hand through. Oh, come off it and push it.
Yeah, well, you've got to
Well,
see the hand.
excuse me.
Yeah. Even if you were thin enough to do that, you're still going to see the
Of
hand.
course you are.
So,
Another one, yeah. Incredible.
that's the reason I just went flying across the road.
Yeah.
That's
Helmet bounces off. You know, been there for 4 years. Same spot.
And it just
Wow.
moves all of a
So
sudden.
I have to say, there's quite a lot of poltergeist, as we call it.
I was going to say, would you
Poltergeist.
class that as poltergeist activity?
I can only say
Yeah.
that, yeah. Why would an ordinary ghost? Do you know what I mean? Why? But, Peter, what's that? Is that poltergeist? You see, I'd be honest with you, I normally poo-poo all the stuff about, oh, I was dragged out of bed at 2:30 in the morning and held up against the ceiling. I was, I don't know, I'm sorry, but I've got that on film.
Yeah.
And he knows, I mean, there's a box there as well, but he knows it's there. It's been there 2 years, same spot. And actually, that's what he didn't trip over it at all. I don't know, but it's all.
Do you think if it was a spirit, because obviously
evil?
It's a jail.
Yes, it's a jail. Yeah.
police officer,
Yeah.
do you think he thought, do you
Yes,
know what?
I think it's highly likely.
You know, you
Highly likely.
you're part of why I was here.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of
Yes,
thing.
I think
Yeah.
there's a great possibility.
Yeah.
But here we go. So hang on. Why did it wait 4 years? Or how? I don't
Yeah.
know. I do
Yeah.
not know. Of course, we haven't got the answers.
Exactly.
We're trying to look for the answers.
Yes.
But we haven't got them all.
And that's my logo.
Hang on. Put your glasses on, Richard, and let me have a look. Hey! Searching for proof of the. There you go. You see.
That's my logo.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Searching for proof, not faking for proof.
No,
Not. What's the point?
exactly.
It's exactly, that's me, the same thing. I'm trying to prove what the whole damn thing is about.
Yeah.
And why they're here and everything. And I think the last time that Peter mentioned about why we call this the murder room or whatever.
He said, it was just, I think it was about some of the artifacts, but it was
Yep.
when you cut them open,
Yes,
took
yeah.
the insides out. And
all of that. Yeah, and the reason is doing that is purely and simply because the body, right, for 222 hanging offences, right, including shooting rabbits. And then there's our friend up here, Joseph Wheeler, hacked his niece and nephew to death with a gorse hook, which is like a scythe, right? And then a lad that shot some rabbits to feed his 5 kids was brought in here, put in the condemned cell and hanged. Joseph Wheeldon was put in the condemned cell and hanged. Well, which one deserved to hang? Joseph Wheeldon.
Yeah.
But they were both hanged. That's what hundreds and hundreds of nearly innocent people. That, I mean, all he was doing was trying to feed his family to keep them alive. Joseph Wheeldon, get rid of him off the planet as soon as you can. But they're both hanged. And I can imagine that lad probably still around.
I was just about to say that, maybe some
Angry.
spirits around here, or injustice.
Come on, Mike. Because if Dad died, the breadwinner, how are they going to feed the kids?
Exactly.
So they're going to die as well, probably, because they were starving anyway before Dad went and shot the rabbits.
Sticking around because it was an injustice to them.
You've got unfinished business. So anyway, so they realised this was unfair. So in 1752 they passed the Murder Act, which first thing was that it made that no murderer after 1752 was allowed to be buried. So no 6 foot of English earth, no gravestone, no family to mourn you, no Christian burial service to lay you to rest. If you're not at rest, where are you? You're a tormented soul wandering, you're a ghost, aren't you? Right? So that's the first part of the punishment. What are we going to do with the body? So, the body was, after hanging, was publicly dissected in the Shire Hall. Public, as you can see here, a public dissection taking place. He's still got the rope around his neck, look. And basically, what happened first is that first thing before that, you were wired up to a battery. A bloody great vat of water with a zinc tower, because there was nothing new. You know, there were batteries in the pyramids, so there's nothing new. And so they wired the body up, and guess what? It moved. A leg would move.
Electricity.
Electricity. People fled. He's coming back to life. Well, they weren't far from the truth, were they? How do we bring people back to life? How did my wife bring me back to life a few weeks ago?
I've heard about that.
Oh no, she didn't do it. She did not defib. She did cardiac arrest. But you know what I mean? Electricity, right? Oh boy. So, bloke from Derby, Dr. Erasmus Darwin, grandfather of Charles Darwin, would you believe, dissected murderers in Derby. He was fascinated by electricity. When Mary Shelley wrote the novel Frankenstein,
Yes.
the preface of the book, the inspiration for this novel was Dr. Darwin of Derby, who dissected bodies here.
I did not know that.
How about
I did
that?
not know
Dr.
that.
Darwin of Derby.
I did not know that.
Yeah, belt of that. Hey, so the Frankenstein. Anyway, after they done that, they flayed the body. They skinned it. And they sent the skin to a tan yard to be tanned. And these pictures here are books bound in human skin. If you look at that one closely, A, you can see his tattoos. Yeah. And B, you can still see his body hair on it. His blonde body hair.
Oh my God.
Hey? Next thing, the bones were boiled in a big cauldron. Get the meat off them. Then wired up and made into, that's a real one.
Yes.
Real skeleton, yeah?
It's over here.
So, and then your bits were cut up, used for medical science, yeah? We've got a heart in there, we've got a brain in one of there. And, right, punchline. The body wasn't whole. And that meant on the Day of Judgment, no material resurrection. Because the people believed in those days that the body, when you, come off it guys, when you float up towards heaven, you're judged. Everybody stands there, oh God, do you really believe it? Some people still do believe it, but they did believe it, right? So you're all stood up and you're judged. And if you say, yep, you're okay, you can go up to heaven, your body comes back together. But if your body's in pieces, you're screwed, mate. Straight to hell.
Yeah.
And this was known as a terror beyond death for a murderer. So, just think about this. You know, you're sat in the condemned cell,
Yeah.
knowing what's going to happen to you. You know you're going to burn in hell. You know St. Peter ain't letting up there. I'm going down there. To burn in hell for eternity at 10,000 degrees centigrade. No thanks, I'll stop here, thank you.
Yeah.
That's why they're still here.
Yeah.
They're terrified to move on
Yeah.
because of divine retribution, hellfire and damnation and all of the stuff made up by the church.
Yeah.
It's caused ghosts, especially in places like this.
Yeah.
But people are terrified to move on.
You're on the same wavelength as me.
Yeah.
Get on my way this.
Yes.
By this.
I do normally, but I had it cut off when I had my operation the other day.
Because, you know, I say the evil ones.
Yes.
To look at that and think,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, that's
I wear a cross.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's right, because they believed it. They believed in this.
Yeah.
And they're terrified. Terrified of it.
And that's why you come across an evil spirit or so-called demon, when you
Word.
show this,
Yeah.
they
Thank
back
you
away.
very much.
So
Yeah.
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 I'm a safe word for you.
Mate, it's been a pleasure.
So yes, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. No, you're. Oh, and the last thing, of course,
Yes,
to
go
tell
on.
you about.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Don't forget the best bit.
Go on.
All over the doors is graffiti from the prisoners. Right? In the condemned cell, I borrowed one of your torches.
Yeah,
from
that's
me.
right.
Right. Oh, inside the door. Before your execution, you scratched your initials on the door inside a gallows. WM JH WH JG. This guy here, S. Noon Ilkeston, condemned 20th of May 1818.
That's amazing. It's just
This is,
their handwriting.
yeah, their handwriting.
That's
I tell you. And then down here, which is the really fascinating thing about this jail. By the way, as you can see, this is on the outside.
yeah.
So that means they're outside,
Walking
up
around.
and down, with a bar and knives. Got to be knives, haven't they?
Yeah.
How else can... These are the number of days before your execution. But they've got witch marks on them. Witch marks, apotropaic marks. Apotropaic is Greek for keep out. Alright? They were frightened of ghosts. And these witch marks are on here to stop ghosts coming in again. And the most famous witch mark is a double V. VV. There was no such thing as a W in the alphabet. It was V and double V. Right? And double V means Virgin of Virgins, Mary, Mother of Jesus.
Yeah.
And they're Marian marks, they're called. They're religious marks to stop evil spirit. Just like you've got the cross,
Yeah.
these are to stop evil spirits. Evil spirits are ghosts, aren't they? Evil spirits coming into this jail. And when I opened this place, I couldn't understand why there were so many Williams in the place. V. The other one, this one here, you might know about already. This is another witch mark. They're not to stop witches. They're to stop evil spirits or ghosts, right? And that is known as a daisy wheel. And there's a circle, and it's got very close. You can see it's got petals in it.
Oh yeah.
And that's another witch mark. And also, they scratched circles on the door, right? But they did it with a compass. Look here.
That's a very good circle.
One there. One there. They're all right. Now, they believe, 'cause you must remember that they believed all of the mumbo jumbo that was being preached by the church.
Yeah.
This is what they believed, and this is what terrified them. They believed that evil spirits were stupid. And if an evil spirit, a demon, if you like, managed to get into a circle, it will be trapped in the circle, and there are no corners for it to hide. That's bollocks. But it wasn't to these guys. And if you want a really good double V,
Oh wow.
all on its own, so we take William, hey?
That guy was really wanting protection.
Yeah, and that's inside his cell. And there's more, they're all over it. Oh. And then this one.
I'm fascinated with the marks.
Oh, it's awesome, isn't it? Oh, what about this?
That's an amazing picture.
Hmm.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, mermaid. She's got a mirror in one hand and a comb in the other. A pirate? A sailor? I don't know. We are farther from the sea here in Derby than any place in the country. Amazing, isn't it? And then this one. Oh, look at this one. Oh, all right. No, you have, anyway. Not only are there witch marks, double V, 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 double. They're everywhere. But this is to the gallows. And then left handprints with their initials inside.
Wow.
1, 2, 3. They're everywhere.
Original handprints.
Original handprints.
That is.
From, look here.
That's my. So I scared myself and Johnny with that.
Yeah, look at this.
Okay.
Now, my first take on it, before I knew about witch marks, was it's much easier to use your right hand to scratch
Yeah.
on your left. But no, it's not. The left hand is the sinister hand. Because the Latin for left is sinistra. The Latin for right is dexter.
I did not know that.
If you are ambidextrous, it means you're right-handed in both hands. But if you were left-handed, it's the sinister hand, and that would be enough to convict you of witchcraft. There you are, you see, a witch. But you see what I mean? So it's actually not. It means, don't you? Same as the double V's and the daisy wheels. It means you'll still see this on certain building sites. Keep out.
Keep out.
And that's what they mean. They're frightened of ghosts.
I am intrigued about how they can do these W's with the little lines at
You
top.
know that?
Perfectly.
Which isn't a W, as you can see.
Sorry, yeah, the double V.
But you see what I
sorry.
mean? Look,
Yeah.
it's a V and a V, you see. You see, the alphabet was totally different in
I mean,
this.
it's like you say, they must have had, when you had freedom, doing something like this, these double V's,
Yeah.
must have took time.
Oh, Christ,
So
yeah.
whoever was watching them weren't bothered.
Yeah, what about,
that
the,
they
what
had a
about the
nice one,
turnkeys that were running?
Yeah. They must have been bothered.
The
like.
torturers that were that had cudgels and beat the prisoners up and double chained them. Hey?
Like I said, this
The
one
one there.
especially, that one, I know it was inside, so we had probably
Yeah, but
20,
look at it.
But that is
The
just...
depth. There's only one thing you could do that with. Hey?
Yeah.
It's a stonker, isn't it? Hey? He was an artist, he was, wasn't he?
I wonder if that is attached to that.
I wouldn't be surprised. I never thought about that. You know that?
Because it's right
Yes, days.
below there.
And fear is what's in here.
Yeah.
And it's fear that controls, and that's what's caused ghosts. Christmas tree down there.
Oh yes.
Well, I think he had it with it. It's a Christmas tree.
You never know. It could have been near Christmas time and you go, what is a Christmas tree or something? You don't know, do you?
I don't know. Yeah. Put it
The
in.
stories are behind them and the stories
That's what
that
it's-
you'll never know.
This, yeah. And this one. Right, there's bits and bobs on here, but the best bit is that. That's the best bit of Derby Jail, that.
Gallows.
Gallows.
Pub.
2 guys on it, and pub. But it isn't. That is an ampersand. That's the 27th letter of the alphabet at the time. An and sign. That's P and B. And 2 guys, you see where his feet are? And where his feet are? Is it better without that? Can you see, is it
Yeah,
better?
that's smaller
Yes.
and it's taller.
Okay. So, luckily again, P and B, and a date. 1804.
Is that a brothers?
No, here are. Derby Mercury, 1804. On Friday last, and that was again 18th century writing. Look, that's an elongated S. That is. Looks like F, doesn't
I
it?
took it back in it.
On Friday last, Richard Booth, age 40, and John Parker, age 24, for horse stealing, were executed on the gallows near this town, pursuant to their sentence at the last assizes. Parker appeared very penitent and was much affected, but Booth, who was 6 feet 4 inches high,
She's a taller one.
and he made him, when he scratched that on that door before he was hanged, he made himself that much taller than his mate Parker.
That's amazing.
That, to me, is the, well, honestly, if I live long enough, because I've never written a book called Derby Jail yet, but that's going to be the front cover.
Yes.
It has
yes.
to be, doesn't it?
Yes.
A message from the
That
dead.
explains this place just enough.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And that with it.
Yeah.
It actually, he had been condemned, hang on, listen to this, right, he was 6 feet, and had been condemned 3 different periods. He'd been sentenced to hang 3 times before they hanged him here at Derby, and exhibited in his conduct at the place of execution the most hardened depravity, and died a wretched example of the fatal consequence of idleness, keeping bad company, and existing by depredations upon the public. God only knows what he did. What depravity did he exhibit on the guy? I don't even want to think about it, thank you very much. Bonkers, isn't it?
But that
Isn't it good?
and that W are probably the best carvings
Yeah, I know that.
on the doors.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Isn't it good? Oh, sorry, it isn't the best carving on the door.
Oh, go on then.
Come here.
What we got?
I'm going home now. When I opened this 23 years ago, this wasn't here. And all the doors were here, and a bloke came in at the opening, and he says, you know these doors? I said, yeah. He says, graffiti on them. He says, well, I don't know whether you know this, but he says, I was one of the builders when they were converting this into a nightclub. And they were pulling these doors off and stuffing them down the side of the skip. He says, my mate nicked one, took it out of the skip, put it in his van, took it home with him. I said, wow. And then he went into his inside pocket and showed me a photograph of that. And I went ballistic because of that. William Buxton.
Peace of mind.
Derbyshire's Dick Turpin.
What?
Gentleman, that, my friend, is his confession.
All that.
He was, you need to read a bit of it if you've got time.
I will.
It's incredible. Again, I haven't written the book about him yet. That is absolutely incredible. He was a gentleman highwayman, a proper highwayman. Dick Turpin was a rogue and a thief and a horse thief and a member of a gang, a gangster. This guy was a gentleman, a farmer's son.
Dick Turpin's supposed to haunt a pub in Smorgon.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. I need to go there.
He was hanged when he was 26, this lad. And before he went up to the gallows,
That's
he
really,
left me his signature on the door.
That's really.
And just after COVID finished, an old lady rang me up and said, would you like a door from Derby Jail?
That's amazing.
And it was her brother-in-law's. He'd been dead in the flat for 3 months, and they went in and found this door. It cost me an arm and a leg. But I got it back. And Mr. Buxton's still here still around me, waiting for me to write the book to tell his story.
When you do, mate, I'll be buying
I
it.
know, it'd be good in that one. Good, isn't it?
Very good. And you know what? All the history, the picture of the
It's the history behind the ghosts, guys,
and
isn't
this is
it?
what we were saying once before. It's the history behind the building, behind the ghosts, and that's what I like. You know, and I'm gonna. There's a spirit there. I'm gonna go.
Yes.
Go for it. I want to know the history. I want to know who they are. I want a bit of feedback.
Bricks and mortar on their own are boring.
Yeah.
Bricks and mortar plus flesh and blood make it interesting.
Yeah.
True, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a good night.
So do I, Richard.
I'll just say one thing before I go, and I say this to so many people. Nobody leaves Derby Jail disappointed.
And I'm sure I won't.
I hope you won't.
And I'm sure I won't. But thank you again, Richard.
Pleasure, mate.
And
Have a good night.
I will, mate. And I've met my legend.
Oh, you I told you you should get out more.
I don't need to get out with this guy's a legend. So if you want to see the rest of the videos, guys, from us investigating this place, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one where we're doing the investigations.